Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, we're going to talk about something that I think is important, and you guys ask about it, so let's talk about it. There's one thing that can be summarized that avoidance will not risk losing, even for you, even if they love you. And a lot of folks think it's freedom, a lot of folks think it's autonomy or control, and it is all of those things, but I think the better way to describe it is actually safety, which is all of those things. And so if they feel safe, it's going to eliminate all of those fears anyways. And so that's why I'm going to call it safety. And basically, what they perceive as safety is that they're allowed to be themselves. They're free. They have some control. They get to be autonomous. Not necessarily that they have to do all the actions they want all the time. Not really. All they want is that they're not judged if they need those things. They're not judged for their needs, which is why I would call it more safety. It's not that they want to be combative or they want to be out of control or they're the only one, they call all the shots, for example. They just want that if they are a certain way, even if you're not satisfied with it, that you're okay with them taking their time changing that and trusting that. That's usually what it comes down to. And they will not risk losing that. And so usually what happens is if you're not letting them be themselves, no matter what, they will resist you and they will pull away and they will leave. No matter if you keep bringing up the same issue over and over and over again, eventually they will leave. If you keep telling them not to do certain things or try and control their situation or even their schedule or even tell them what to do, eventually they will leave. Most of the time, this is the case. Even more so if it's a dismissive avoidant. Fearful avoidants might leave emotionally, but they might stay in the physical sense. Either way, they're not there for you anymore. And so both of types of avoidance they will not risk this. No matter who you are, they will not risk it. And so how can we implement these strategies into a relationship so that they don't lose what they're afraid to lose, okay? The first one is give this person, whoever this person may be, ownership of parts of their life. Their finances, their routine, their friendships. That's for them to manage. You can still ask about them. You can still direct some of those things, especially routine if you're married, living together, whatever it is, but let them have the final say. You don't want to control this dynamic too much. This is a big one, and I think it's a little bit easier, especially if you're not married. If you're married, it's a little harder, but this one might be easy for a lot of y'all, okay? The next one is encourage time apart. Now, I'm going to pick on some of the fearful avoidance that I know are in my audience, okay? A lot of you guys think that encouraging time apart means that you're going to do this even when the relationship in of itself is already very distant. No. When I mean encourage time apart, it means that you're still in a functioning relationship. I'm not saying you guys are like in a friend zone or whatever, and then you're going to encourage time apart. While that still works, I'm not saying time apart means you don't talk for 6 months. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like a solo trip. Maybe a night out with friends. Maybe let them do personal projects. You just saying it. I like what you're working on. Maybe you can do that. Maybe they're a pilot, whatever it is. And that's obviously a really stressful job. And they're gone a lot of the time and their schedules can be pretty difficult. But maybe they also enjoy aviation just in general. And maybe they also like to do part-time. I have some patients like this. That's where I'm getting it from. Part-time, they also want to clean the airplane. Like right now, it's like, what month are we in? Okay, so I'm recording this the first week of November. And so eventually, a couple months, we may have snow in my area. It depends. We don't always have snow, but we might. And so sometimes there are part-time seasonal jobs where you can, clean the airplane, the snow off the plane, whatever it is, okay? And they might like that because they like aviation or whatever it is. You might encourage that. So it doesn't mean, hey, go off for like a month and don't talk to me. That's not what I'm saying. Some fearful avoidants think that black and white extreme type of thing. No, just something small. Hey, you were talking about doing your art project. When are you going to do that? Something even smaller. You've been talking about getting a tattoo of your dog for years. When are you going to do that? Just encourage that. Maybe you could do that. Maybe you could get a tattoo in Italy, take a trip, whatever it is. Doesn't even matter. My examples are falling apart. Whatever it is, okay? The next one is you have to let them handle their challenges their way. This one is hard for a lot of you guys. I know that. I read your comments. They handle things the way you don't feel like should be handled. And you're probably right. I won't lie. I think you guys, know what you're talking about. But they don't see it like that. And that's okay. He, for example, a lot of you guys were females writing this about your boyfriend. But anyone, Let them handle their challenges their way. They're right in their right. They're correct in their own right. And then you're correct in your own right. Maybe you think that you should prioritize intimacy in the bedroom. You're right. But they're thinking, let it happen naturally. Don't push me. They're right too. Let them do it their way. See what happens. You will be surprised. It'll probably happen much quicker than you think it will. The next one is give appreciation. You guys know this. Give appreciation. Acknowledge efforts without constantly asking for more. Most of you guys are good at this, so I'm not going to hold on that too long. The next one is avoid overanalyzing every move. A lot of you guys are getting better with this one. Not everything your partner does has a hidden meaning. Maybe they just had a long day. They're not texting you because they forgot, because they're not a good texter. Like it's truly that simple. A lot of times it is. A lot of avoidants are not that good at texting, but that's okay. Some of them are, and I've mentioned texting before. Some of them are like very strategic about it, or like they're good at answering, but it's not very emotional. And then some are better with being emotional, but they're just not good at answering. And so that's just an example, but whatever it is, okay? That's something that's really important. When I also mention overanalyzing, sometimes what you guys do is you give them sometimes excuses, okay? The new one that I see that's running around a lot is like some neurological thing. And the research on that is very subpar, and it's very, I don't even know how to explain this. Any person can have heightened cortisol or whatever it is, oxytocin is balanced or imbalanced, whatever it is. This is not necessarily specifically attachment, okay? What happens is when anybody is doing something, let's say, for example, somebody is always isolating themselves, you're going to see these issues show up. And people who are avoidant, for example, they might isolate themselves. And so you're seeing that lack of whatever you're looking at, whatever it may be, okay? But that doesn't mean it's the attachment issue and they're stuck like that. It just means that they're doing things in their day-to-day because of their attachment issue that makes these things show up neurological, but it doesn't mean they have a neurological problem. It's not stuck that way, okay? And what a lot of people do is they overanalyze and they want to find a definitive answer why this happened so they can make an excuse to some extent without admitting, okay, my partner's like this because they're just stubborn or they don't want to right now. And you give those meanings when they might not be, and then you end up getting hurt. And that's a form of overanalyzing, in my opinion. I could be completely wrong, okay? And again, I don't even have the research in front of me. This is just from memory, and I could be wrong. I'm just telling you what I have read, what I see. I'm a PhD student, so that's just my perspective, okay? But in general, all that I'm saying is just leave it simply as it is, even if you don't like it. Because it's probably, if you just stop poking at it, it'll heal by itself sometimes. Depending on how close you guys are, it's something to keep in mind. And this will help your avoidant partner to not always feel they need to run away. And the last one is also respect your partner, how they process feelings, okay? A lot of avoidants process things internally before sharing. Let them. You can still ask them, you can still prompt them, but give them a little bit of time. I understand this video was a little bit all over the place, but I hope this video was helpful to somebody. Let's summarize, and then we're going to roll out of here, okay? The first one is give them ownership of parts of their life. The second one is encourage time apart. The next one is let them handle challenges their way. Fourth one, give appreciation. Fifth, don't overanalyze. And sixth, respect the way they process emotions, okay? I hope this video was helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.